Stunning development yesterday. Governor Palin admits to possible pressure from her administration to fire former Department of Public Safety Director Walt Monegan. But it's how the governor and her staff are explaining this latest development compared to what they've said just last month. CBS 11's Corey Allen Young joins us live with what appears to be several inconsistencies in the Palin administration's statements. Corey?
That's right, Dave. The taped phone call we all heard yesterday reveals possible pressure. But when pressed to explain how these latest developments play into what was said in the past, one could be left scratching their head. Listen for yourself.
It was a good run.
From the very beginning of the investigation, former Public Safety Commissioner Walt Monegan had said that he did feel pressure from Governor Palin to get rid of Trooper Michael Wooten, her ex-brother-in-law.
There was pressure for that, yes.
Pressure that just weeks ago, Palin, her administration, and her husband denied.
To tell you that truth is that no pressure was ever put on anybody to fire anybody.
Some may say it's pressure, and I say it's just informing.
I just cannot recall a specific conversation where Commissioner Monegan and I talked about this specific trooper.
If Walt Monegan says that I've ever talked to him or pressured him about even talking to him about Wooten, that is absolutely false.
Yesterday, the governor changed course, admitting now that one of her own made phone calls that could be perceived as pressure and were just plain wrong.
There's a gentleman by the name of Mike Wooten, who's a trooper in the valley, and there's a family tie with the governor there, and so I think because of that, my understanding is, Walt has been very reluctant to take any action, but I mean, there's some very clear facts out there. Just so you got some insight on the other stuff too, it's going to be interesting, but the general feeling is, they just can't figure out why this guy is still working.
It wasn't just Bailey who called.
I was one of the calls, and that much I can tell you.
Monegan says he was working with the governor's staff over the issue of Trooper Wooten.
I was contacted by Commissioner Annette Kreitzer and Chief of Staff Mike Tibbles, and then I heard that Frank Bailey had contacted one of the commanders.
But Palin said yesterday the subject of her ex-brother-in-law never came up with Monegan.
We never had a conversation on whether Trooper Wooten should be a trooper or not.
Monegan says not true.
She wanted to talk about it over the phone, and then we talked once at the Capitol building, and she brought it up, and I actually advised her that she shouldn't be talking about it.
The governor also has shown some contradictions in regards to the reason to Monegan's dismissal. Yesterday, she said that Monegan was let go due to some concerns in his command.
I was concerned also that we were not doing enough on continuing alcohol abuse issues that I wanted to see tackled, including the bootlegging issues out in rural Alaska.
4 weeks ago, she praised Monegan for his ability to solve those same issues when offering him a job as the director of the Alcohol Beverage Control Board.
I recognize that Walt's interest and strength certainly could be put to good use as he could concentrate exclusively on a couple of issues that were his interest, that be bootlegging and the alcohol problems in rural Alaska.
As the special investigation on the governor's potential abuse of power continues, the question remains on what the governor and her administration's purpose was in dealing with the Department of Public Safety.
The governor continues to say she has nothing to hide and will answer any questions. Walt Monegan says he's cooperating with the investigation as he's already started talking to the investigator Steve Branchflower. Reporting live from the studio, Corey Allen Young, CBS 11 News.
The special investigation into Governor Palin's potential abuse of power has resulted into the investigators asking for your help tonight.
Flower, thank you for calling. Please leave your information at the sound of the tone.
Special investigator Steve Branchflower has activated a tip line for Alaskans to call with information that could help the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the firing of former Public Safety Commissioner Walt Monegan. Callers calling the tip line will hear a brief recorded greeting from Mr. Branchflower to leave information. The tip line number is 264-6617.